It might impress you also to note that there was no time, and history has to record that. If you're going to put Liberian history together, you have to put it together correctly. There was never a time that the 17 members of the TRC, Samuel Doe and his group, sat down in no room to plan a coup d'etat. They did not have the knowledge, they did not have the experience, they did not have the exposure and the wit to even do that after they had this, after this thing happened, and we kept in contact with them. I was very close to Samuel Doe and very close to most of the members of the TRC. No one can tell me anything. I was there physically. There was never a time, and I asked this question over and over, how did you guys organize and plan this thing here? Harrison Penny was the first to meet President William Aratobo's door ajar and peeped in and saw the president lying down dead. And history got to record that. They never had no coup. They never organized themselves as a group of people to go and shoot the president. The president of Liberia, William Aratobo, was murdered on the night that he left from the Baptist Convention. There were security reports in 1980 that there was an attempt to overthrow the government and to eliminate the president. That's why when he left the Baptist Convention, he did not go to Fendo, where he should have been. That was the plan. The plan was to eliminate him in Fendo, and then Lieutenant Colonel Jebo and others that were trained by the U.S. military mission would march from Shuffling and come down to Monrovia and take over the executive mansion. That did not work. President Toba left from the Baptist Convention and went to the executive mansion. But there was also a plot there that if he was there, he was going to get killed, and he was killed there. Our president was murdered by foreigners in our country, and history must record that. People must stop thinking that a group of uneducated enlisted men in the armed forces of Liberia planned a coup d'etat and overthrew the government and killed the president. That was not the case. And no member of the PRC, whether alive now, can stand up and tell you that they had any prior meetings together as a homogeneous group to organize a coup d'etat or to kill the president and take over. It was unfortunate for the planners of the coup that it was discovered that the president was killed prior to the time that the men that they had positioned with new uniforms and all to come over and take the executive mansion. That's why when Samuel Doe, after a few days of the coup, d'etat, after a few days, Samuel Doe began to chase Lieutenant Colonel Jebo, and he was wanted dead or alive because the same people who planned the coup, who planned the murder of Torbert, had already informed some of the security members and members of the body that was trained, because after Doe and others took over, this group dispersed. But most of them were on the run. Some of them were middle-level military officers who took positions and was hoping that they would be appointed into government and to get jobs and continue their lives because their own procedure had failed and maybe plan again. Most of them disclosed to their tribesmen and other people that this attempt was on. Therefore, Samuel Doe began to pursue Jebo and finally killed him while he was crossing the river. So let no history record that a group of enlisted men in the army organized a coup. They did not organize a coup. They took advantage of a situation. That was the reason for the crude manner in which the takeover came about. How can you say you plan a coup and all 17 of you will get in two cars and drive from the mansion to EFBC and all of you standing on top of the table in EFBC announcing and quarreling among yourselves and whatnot? That's no group of people that could organize a coup. There was nothing of that nature.